Hey, how's it going everyone? This is DCSG 81 and today we'll take a look at this 1/12 scale male body from this company called TB Leak. Okay, so this is not something new. I got this quite a few months ago, I think. So I haven't been having the time to go through it with you guys, and I just saw it in my collection just now, so I was thinking to review it for you guys. So this is not a new company. It's actually pretty old. They are prior to this. They are actually not called this name TB Leak. Their name is actually Phicen, which you can see here. Okay, they actually existed. The very first time was when it's during the 1/6 scale era, where they actually created the female body for 1/6 scale figure. So their body is very famous because of the seamless body that you can actually see later. They don't have, their joints are all hidden inside the skin. It's actually seamless, so you can guess that the body is actually using rubber. And the skeleton inside is actually stainless steel or die cast, as they call it. I'm not sure whether it's stainless steel or not, but I know it's a die cast. So yep, this is how they got famous, and then now they actually venture into the 1/12 scale as well. This is not their 1/12 scale product. They actually released the female body as well, which I have also bought it, but I'm not sure where I put it now. So this is the sort of like their latest one. They actually venture into creating the male body as well. So they actually have two versions of it. This is the TM01A. There's another one that's called TM02A as well, as you can see on the screen. This is the less buffer one. The other one is actually a very buff size. I think that is more meant for the Arnold Schwarzenegger from the Terminator, when he first arrived on Earth and he's not wearing any clothes. So the body size, the shapes is more suitable for Arnold. I actually bought this a less buffer one, so I was thinking that it might be more suitable for other characters, like maybe the Captain America Chris Evans. Yeah, so the other one is very nice as well, but I think that one is just meant for Arnold. Yeah, so not very much choices of head that I can use on that body, which is why I choose this body. Okay, so without further ado, let's get a closer look on the box. So it's a very simple box. I believe the female one is also having the same box. So you can see there are some poses here, and there are some warning message. Okay, it says that it's not a toy, recommended for age 15 and above and up. Okay, so it's actually made by Phicen. Okay, the skin tone is suntan, and then we have lots of information here. If you want to have a look, you can actually pause the screen now. Okay, I didn't really read everything, so it's just, I think basically they are just some disclaimer, and the only thing I read is this one: the body is not designed as a sex toy. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's get this open. Okay, so this is the body right out of the box. Let's take a closer look. The first feel I get when I hold the figure is it actually has some weight on it, so you can already feel that it's a very quality product. And the whole body is actually rubber, like I mentioned earlier. It feels very nice, very soft, like almost quite eerie, because it feels like I'm touching someone's skin. So it actually feels very surreal as well. And you can see the what they call the vein, the blood veins on it. Very cool. And the six packs, of course. Okay, looking very real, and it also feel very real. And as I mentioned earlier, the inner skeleton of the body is actually made of steel, or die cast as they call it. I don't think it's stainless steel, as I mentioned earlier. I'm so sorry about that. I'm also not surprised if they are really stainless steel, but it's a metal, that's for sure. Okay, so you can see that wow, see, even the tights are having some vein here. It's looking very good. I believe the other one that I mentioned, the Arnold body, he have a very large chest, as well as I think there are more veins all around. That one is very detailed as well, but I think I have more use on this, and you can see he looks so much real. Okay, even the butt is looking very good. And they are not just for the overall look, they are very good in terms of articulation, which I will go through later as well. Yep, so this is why they are getting a lot famous for their body that has been made by them. And you can see that it's seamless. You can't see any exposed joint, which is looking very real. Okay, except for the hands part, you can see, because they are having some interchangeable hands as well. That's why they need to have the spot where you have to pull out. Otherwise, I think they will actually make it, the whole thing is covered by the skin. The hands and the legs is actually plastic, not rubber. Okay, so let's go through the articulations. Okay, so for the articulation, I think it's pretty weird because this is the first time I actually try to do articulation for a blank or empty body. So we'll go through the neck. So you can see the neck can pretty much move 360. Okay, very nice. You can actually bend forward to look down, and then bend backward as well. Okay, there's I don't think there's any tight swivel, I mean arm swivel, but his arm can move pretty much all the way. Very real. Okay, then he can also turn. And since this is a rubber, you have to make sure, even though I can feel that the rubber is very durable, but you still, when you try to twist anywhere that you want, just be very careful and feel it, so that you don't overstretch and eventually it tore. Although I think that possibility is pretty what do I call, not very high. You're able to tore the rubber, because I can feel it's very real. Okay, and yep, then you can turn the waist a lot. Okay, there's a lot you can turn, and I think I managed to turn it somewhere which is not right. That's why I can't do it like this anymore. And the bad thing about having a seamless joint is you can't tell whether how's the body behave. I mean, because you can't see the joint, so you have to guess whether you are doing it right or wrong. Okay, and the best thing is you can even do this. Okay, you can go all the way to, sorry about that, you can go all the way to stick to his body, which is very good. At first I thought the best he can do is this, but he can actually go all the way in. Okay, so as for the torso, there's a joint that he can bend down very much. Okay, you can also bend him backwards a lot. Okay, this is to the extent that the backbone is already broken. Okay, so it can do almost what human's body can do, like even more. Okay, so kicking forward more than 90 degrees, in fact he can do like this. Okay, splitting, I think he can do a perfect split, but be very careful not to overstretch it. Yep, you can see that it's perfect split. Okay, and then the knee, again, very flexible. Okay, and the leg, of course, there's no toe hinge, because if they included a toe hinge, then the leg will look unrealistic. Okay, you can see how realistic the leg is. Okay, so this is a very extremely flexible body. You can see that I can do a twist to the side as well. Very nice. Okay, just that, let's try to do this. Okay, wow, can do the poses, very nice poses. Okay, so this is not just a body that is It's just like this. They actually also give lots of accessories, which we will look in the next session. Okay, so since it didn't come with much, I'll show you right from the box that you can see what his accessory is. So you can see that he already comes with a pair of closed fist hand that's on the figure, and then he comes with a pair of grabbing hands. I'll show it to you guys. Sorry about that. And even on the hands, you can see the details of the vein, the blood veins on the hands. Very realism. Okay. Okay, they are not just giving any blank hand, but they do sculpted some veins on it. And also they give gun trigger hands, a pair of gun trigger hands, again with a lot of veins, looking very realism. Okay, and then they come with a pair of this is for, oh sorry about that, this is for holding things, maybe a knife or stick or anything like that. Surprisingly, because I thought they would give a pair of relaxed hand, which they didn't give. And of course, this is surprising because they also give a heat sculpt. Okay, so let's take a look. And the heat sculpt do reminds me a bit as Chris Evans. Which is why I think the body is actually meant for him. Okay, very nice. And there's also a brief given in case you find these too obscene. You can help him to wear a brief, which I will show it to you guys on how to do it in my next sessions. Okay, so let's see how we can actually help him to wear a brief. Okay. Okay, so which part is the front? Wow, I can't believe I'm playing a Barbie right now. No, this is not a Barbie, this is Ken. Okay, I think it should be this way, because at the back there's a line here which I don't think should be on the front. So what I will do is I'll actually remove the feet. Again, you can see there is a metal. Okay. Okay, so just wear it. And because it's rubber, so it will be a little, how do you call it, hard to actually go all the pull it because of the friction with the cloth and the rubber. If it's a plastic, then you can just easily slide it up, but this is a rubber, so it takes some effort to actually help him to wear. And I hope that over time sorry about that, there is a problem with rubber though, as you know, that if you're wearing cloths on the rubber over time, I just hope that it doesn't have the stain, you know, because I do have some figure that over time, once you remove the clothing, especially black color, the skin will turn black as well because of the clothing, the fabric stain on it. Okay, so let's try. Wow. Okay, so this is a very fitting kind of brief, so it's very tight, and I think it looks pretty good though. You can see that. Okay, so this is done. Yep, so he's wearing a brief right now. Very nice. Okay, okay, yep. And let's try to put on the head sculpt. Okay, so it's as simple as just fitting it in. The neck seems to be a little long. It does looks good, but it seems to having some long neck syndrome. Okay, looks fine now. Yep. So this is the figure. And now let's go through some size comparisons. Okay, so for the size comparison, since this is an empty body, I'll compare him with every characters, not every characters, I mean some characters from every brands that I have. So let's start with the s.h.figuarts. This is the Captain America from the Age of Ultron, okay, from s.h.figuarts. As well as if you want to know about a smaller size figure, I would assume this is the one, the s.h.figuarts Homecoming Spider-Man, the homemade suit. So he's scaling pretty good amongst the s.h.figuarts as well. And right up next, I'll compare him with some Mayfax. This is the Mayfax John Wick Chapter 2. And we also have the smaller scale body from Mayfax, which is this Spider-Man from Homecoming. Of course, the head is Andrew Garfield, which is the custom. This is a smaller body from Mayfax Homecoming Spider-Man, the tech suit. And right up next, I'll compare him with Figma. This is the Figma Goro body. The head sculpt is actually Stan Lee from the CQ Studio custom. And we have my favorite Figma Deadpool, okay, which I think he looks scaling pretty well with him. And right up next, we have the Mesco, which I have this Thor Ragnarok from Mesco, as well as the latest one, the Mesco Cyclops, which I have just reviewed. You can check out the link on the top right corner here. Okay, so Mesco is a little bit bigger compared to this body. Right up next, I will compare him with the Marvel Legends. This is the Marvel Legends Mark 85, as well as we have the Marvel Legends Spider-Man from Far From Home. So it's a little bit bigger for Marvel Legends as well to scale with him. You can see he's much shorter and smaller. Okay, so lastly, I'll compare him with a very big figure brand, which is the Storm Collectibles. This is Zangief. Wow, actually a lot bigger. And then we also have the NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle from the movie version, which I think is pretty in scale because he's supposed to be big. He's a mutant anyway. Yep. Okay, so my final verdict for this guy is I'm pretty impressed, especially with the articulations and the skin, the realism of the skin, as well as when you touch on it, you can really feel that it feels like you're touching someone else. So it's pretty impressive, I would say, and just slightly disappointed that the size is a little bit smaller than I thought it would be, but seems actually in scale with s.h.figuarts and some of the brands, so I think it's pretty fine. So the only bad thing that I see about buying a figure like this is you have to hunt down from his clothing, because I think they're still very limited of 1/12 scale clothing for a guy, unless you just like the other one that I say it meant for Arnold. If you just plan to have him to be the Terminator figure when he just arrived on Earth, because he's basically naked, then yep, you can just buy that figure. Or you want to have this figure and put on a Chris Evans head so that it looks like as if he just come out from that machine that make him big, then that's fine as well. Otherwise, if you want to have him to be displayed with other character with some clothing on, then I believe you might have some trouble to find out the clothing for this guy. I mean, for a 1/12 scale action figure, because currently I think it's pretty much limited. Even though if they have, it's mainly for the female. For the male, I think it's pretty limited. I know that they actually released 3 colors of clothing for him just few months back, and but to me it's doesn't really attracts me. The clothing is just some pretty normal singlets and pants. Okay, so I'm still giving him a I think it will be a 9 out of 10, because I think it's a very impressive figure. especially if you are someone who loves to kit bash or custom made some of your characters. I think this is a very good body. It's a very flexible, very durable. The only bad thing is they didn't give a relaxed hand, which I thought they would give. But they do give a finger triggering hands and things like that. Yep, so I think it's pretty good. Yep, they even give you a head sculpt if you don't have any extra custom heads. So it's looking very realism, as you can see all the veins, the shapes of the body. I think Anthony Custom will be pretty much impressed with this, because he's an expert on human anatomy. So it looks very, very good. Yep, so I'm actually totally recommending this. I actually got this from Ami. I'm not so sure whether it's still available right now. You can have a check. All you need to do is you just search for it, just key in 112 male body. I think you'll find that you just type 112 male body on the search, you should be able to see it. Okay, so other than that, I hope you enjoy my short review for this guy, simple review, and give me a thumbs up if you like it. Of course, leave me any comment as always if you have any further question about him, and also subscribe to my channel if you like my content so far, and click on the bell button so that you'll be notified whenever I upload any new videos. And until then, I will see you in my next review. Bye.